Go. All right, gentlemen. We have new mechanics coming out, especially for the umpire. And the only reason I put center judge in on these mechanics is because if you're going to YouTube some things or Google some things, some videos to go look at, I would look at the center judge position for videos to get some pointers, tips. But for high school ball, he's going to be called the umpire. Does that make sense? Let's just go with a regular scrimmage play. Positioning for the referee is the exact same, but you're going to be on the throwing arm of the QB. I put just outside, but work normal where you normally work, as wide as you want to work. The umpire is now 12 yards deep in the opposite the referee, just outside the tackle on your side, which puts you in the backfield. You're like a double referee.
Hey PJ, can I ask you one question about that first? And it was really the only, when I looked at this last night, the only comment I had was when we talked to Matt either last week or 2 weeks ago, he talked about the referee staying on the same side of the, I call it the right side, and not changing positions with the throwing hand of the quarterback. But here you have it that we would stay on the throwing side of the quarterback. So
for right now, we're always on the quarterback's throwing side. Is that correct? In leaving last year in 5-man mechanics and 7-man, we were on throwing. You can raise your hands if you want, and how many referees or umpires are ready to rule on the ball coming out, whether it's thrown or a fumble.
Right.
That's why I went ahead and put him on the throwing side. I sent these to Julian this morning.
Okay.
And he didn't change that part.
Okay. And Wayne, if you asked the question before, I'm trying to monitor the back judge meeting too, so I'm trying to swing back and forth here. So I apologize if I missed that, but thank you.
I'm sorry if I didn't hear Wayne. Your pre-snap routine is count the offensive players to signal the referee. Observe the offensive numbers, making sure 5 players are numbered 50 to 79 are in the game during downs 1 through 3. Because on the 4th down, we can have the numbering exception, correct? Pre-snap, referee keys, basically the same. You got the guard and tackle on your side. Also eyes on the quarterback and all backs in the tackle box. You're wide enough to see all that, looking for false starts. The umpire has the snapper, guard, and tackle on your side of the ball. All right. Running plays. After the snap, observe the action behind the line of scrimmage there, and the runner to the neutral zone, as well as the action, on the ball and the quarterback during handoffs and backwards passes. Once you read run to your side, focus on the blocks at the point of attack. On runs away, focus on backside blocks with emphasis on backside linebacker, on the backside linebacker. We don't have any eyes back there anymore. So if they're sweeping away, if it's definitely a sweep away, pick out that linebacker and make sure he doesn't get taken down from a guard or something on the backside. I'm not talking about a handoff where it goes in between the guard and tackle. I'm talking about a sweep away or a jet sweep away, something of that nature. If the quarterback scrambles or rolls to your side, stay with him. If the quarterback scrambles away, give him up to the umpire. So the umpire, basically the exact same thing on your side. Questions or concerns? Anybody want to add or take away anything there?
PJ, can we go back to Daniel's question about, if he's going to rule on that, it's going to be total chaos if we're trying to flip-flop umpire referee with left-handed, right-handed. I don't know. Maybe I'm overstepping, but I think we should just stay on the right side regardless.
We rarely have left-handed quarterbacks up here anyway. So what are we talking about? Maybe flipping once?
I don't, I'm going to say over half of my games last year, I switched. Honestly, over half my games.
I still like the referee on the throwing arm for now. We might do this for 2 weeks and switch back. We're going to look for feedback, and these are what we're going with week 1. If we got to adjust, we can adjust. Like I put the umpire right on the tight end spot behind the tight end. He may have to go wider, as wide as the referee does, so we can maybe get out of the way or anything. And like I said, right now, we've got a few umpires who have refereed, but not many have refereed and ruled on a pass fumble situation. And I'd rather our referees see the pass fumble situation right now. Anybody else have any concerns on that?
So let me see here. Oh, you'll get to it in your pass play coverage, PJ. Just keep on going.
Okay. So both after snap, focus on offensive, defensive holding, and chop blocks on plays away. Focus on clipping and chop blocks. Pass play coverage. Your primary responsibility is the pass until there is no threat of a foul for the referee. Then lineman who is beat on your side, and be prepared to pursue the passer if he scrambles to your side. What we don't want to do is a guy roll away from you, and you roll behind the umpire. The umpire's going to pick him up and roll with him that way. If most of the time, if a quarterback pulls the ball up and is going to roll, he's going to roll to his right and throw to right, whatever hand he's on. A lot of people don't roll away from them and throw out across their bodies. So we're talking about 90% of the time, 85 to 90% of the time, when they roll or scramble, they scramble towards the side that they're going to throw. The umpire's primary responsibility is for the snapper and the lineman on your side, with an emphasis on those who are beat. Be prepared to pursue the passer if he scrambles to your side.
So PJ iPhone has a question. I think that's Sandman. My suspicion is he might ask a question about, so if you're on the right side in a normal position as a referee and the quarterback does indeed scramble out to the left, in a sprint out position, like you said, you don't want us to run. We're not going to run past the umpire, but are we as the referee still going to rule on pass fumble, intentional grounding, those types of things?
You can. You can rule on roughing the passer. But if he's rolling into another area, into the umpire's area, we've got to have faith and confidence that the umpire is going to be able to rule on that. And somebody's got to be watching the lineman. We can't. And if the umpire is rolling with the passer in front of him, and he looking back and you looking through, it's not going to work. If you're looking back and he's looking here, I think we're going to have to go with that.
So the days of the quarterback always being the responsibility of the referee are over right now. If the quarterback if he's right-handed quarterback and he rolls to the left, that he now is the umpire's responsibility on that.
Umpire can't throw a roughing the passer. That is correct.
Okay. And he goes out of bounds with him. If he goes out of bounds on the left side, he's got to get out of bounds with him.
Yes, that is correct.
So will we need the umpire to be wider than the tight end?
With possibility, yes. Like I said, right now we've got him in tight, and if you don't feel, bump him out. We can always change this. Julian doesn't like our referees being as wide as we are. He always dings us for that. So to have both the referee and the umpire wide would get really dinged. So I snuck the umpire in just a little bit more. He can bump out and not get a ding from up here. That's perfectly fine. Like I said, we're gonna have to go with this for a week or two and make changes. Or you might have to. You can make a change during the game if you need to in that game where they're always scrambling to that side. Bump him out.
So PJ, help me let's make sure we're clear. So in a right-handed quarterback, I'm on the right side, umpire's on the left side. The quarterback either sprints out to the left or gets flushed out to the left and has the potential to throw or run. In that situation, if the ball does get thrown, is the umpire is going to be the one that's watching the quarterback, watching hits on the quarterback, is going to rule on a pass fumble, and so the umpire's got the quarterback at that situation. Or if the quarterback goes all the way to the sideline and into the team area, the umpire is going to go get him, and the referee's got backside. Is that
Correct?
That's what we're saying, correct? So I probably want to get upfield a little bit because I'm potentially going to have to help out with ineligibles downfield, all that blocking, everything backside. So we're going to hand them off to the umpire, right?
Correct.
Okay.
You both have the exact same responsibilities. It's like a double referee.
So in a quarterback in the pocket, the referee, the
Referee.
QB remains the referee. It changes
One
when
thing is outside the tackle box, and from the left tackle all the way to you, or for left-hander from the right tackle all the way to you, you have that quarterback. Once he rolls and goes in front of the other official, we're not. All right, you go this way, I go that way. He's gonna pick him up and go, and you're gonna backside officiate.
Very good. Thank you for the clarification.
PJ,
Go ahead. Who is it?
Burn. So basically, we're just swapping positions where you'll just become the referee. Once it changed direction, if it comes back, sweep or run outside to our side.
You're the referee, and I'm the umpire.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, PJ, I just want to make sure that the umpires are clear with this. It is only on a pass play that goes outside the tackle box, where the quarterback scrambles outside the tackle box.
Or jet sweep to your side.
Right.
Yeah, and once that
But
ball gets
normal-
outside the tackle box, you pick up the runner in front of you, and the referee picks up blocking that's behind you now. The runner / passer.
Right.
And if he goes downfield, you're
Normal
following.
run plays.
Normal run play up the middle. You got your same
Everything stays
responsibility.
consistent.
Everything stays the same.
So PJ,
If quarterback drops back in the pocket, we stay the same.
Stay the same.
hey PJ,
Go ahead.
since if that happens where there's a sweep or whatever comes to the umpire side and he goes with the flow where he's going out of bounds, is now the referees, once the ball is dead, is he gonna spot the ball, or do
Yes.
we got to get back?
Nope. The referee will spot the ball.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's
Absolutely.
that's a good point, Vern. And PJ, just to echo it.
Yeah, I've got it
ours are
here.
going to have to get involved in ball spotting this year. I know many of us do, but we're all going to have to pitch in and help out there.
Yep, it's down here a little bit of ways. I got an after the play. I sent this to Daniel. I don't know if Daniel can get it to everybody else or put it up on the website or somewhere for everybody to get a copy of these mechanics.
Hey, PJ,
Yes.
one thing to think about, so if the quarterback rolls to his left for the referee, we might not want to go to the line in case that quarterback reverses field and comes back our way. Then we're stuck.
Right. Don't go to
Greg.
the line. You're just going to come up just maybe 10 yards instead of being 14 yards
Yeah.
and observe the lineman. And if you
Right.
observe and catch him coming back, backpedal out of the 45 and let him go in front of you.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, Craig, and that's a good point. I mean, you know, if I
No, we're not. If he goes this way, I'm sorry. If he goes this way, the referee's not coming up. You're gonna walk up a little bit, maybe 2 to 3 yards. You might not. You might stay still. But you're gonna have all the blocking as he goes away from you.
There's a question, PJ, from Brad, with a right-handed quarterback in the pocket who is watching the right tackle. The question is, who is watching the right tackle and guard?
That is yours.
Be the referee. Yes.
That would be the referee.
Yep.
You have your side, and then the umpire has his side. We're not cross. You don't have the left tackle, and the umpire has the right tackle. You have the guys in front of you on your side of the ball.
But if my responsibility is the quarterback, how can I watch the tackle and guard?
Haven't you done that always?
Today you've got the referee and the 2 tackles in prior years, right, Brad?
Well, you're watching the tackle opposite you, so you're looking through the quarterback to the tackle.
But you also have the right tackle, right?
No.
The wing official.
Yeah, you do.
The wing did.
The wing official.
No, the wing did.
No. The
Yes,
umpire
the
had
wing official
the 2.
did.
I never had the right tackle.
Yeah,
The
we
wing
always
official
have.
had the backside.
If he got beat, you had to have him.
We always had them.
Well, if
I've
he got
never
beat-
turned that over to a wing in 5-man. 7-man's different story, but never in 5-man.
Okay.
It's always been referee has the quarterback and the 2 tackles in a 5-man.
Your initial positioning is going to be imperative that you are wide enough to see the right tackle and the quarterback in the pocket. You don't have to worry about it. That left tackle false starts, not yours. That umpire over on the left side is going to get that. You're going to have to be wide enough and deep enough to frame that all in that little bitty L. And you're going to know when he gets beat. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So as we've covered pretty much pass plays, reverse mechanics on a change of possession, an interception, a fumble picked up and gone. The referee's primary responsibility will be team A's goal line and blocking in front. The umpire will have, if it's a pass play and the quarterback throws an interception, get your eyes to the quarterback. If he participates in the play by chasing after the runner or returner, then get off of him and help with blocking. If he just throws it and just walks away, make sure he does not get cheap shotted. Okay? And then help with blocking and with an emphasis on blindside blocks on a change of possession, an interception or a fumble return is coming our way. That makes sense? We don't need the umpire getting to the goal line. He can stay still and be in the, flow with the play. The referee can bail out and get ahead of that. After the plays for both, the umpire and decision judge is primary on spotting the ball. The referee can and will help when play ends in the side zone of the umpire. On incomplete passes, the official closest to the team A sideline will proceed that way while the other official will go to the previous spot ready to receive and spot the ball. Make sense?
Yep.
So PJ, in that situation, do you want the ball boys flipping the ball to the referee or the umpire directly, or do you want them to go through the wing official?
The wing official is probably going to float down on a long pass and stop. I want the wing official to stop, make sure everything is clear before they turn and come back. The umpire or referee on team A's side, just start your way toward that sideline put your hands up, yelling, "Billy, I need a blow." And the other one who's not doing that will go to the previous spot. You ever been to the Bengals game? It's pretty much the way the NFL does it. If you can catch any NFL films, we're getting more and more like the NFL with their 7-man mechanics than we are. Our referee and umpire will look like more like them than we will anybody in the NCAA because they have 8-man mechanics.
Where are you going to put the ball, boys?
Wherever you tell them.
Hey,
It
TJ.
should be upfield 5 to 7 yards from the short wing.
TJ.
Yes, Larry?
Anything in between the tackles still remains DR, right? Only when it goes outside the tackles is when we worry about switching.
Correct.
Correct? Okay.
Correct.
So, therefore, in between the tackles, the U's going up, getting the ball, spotting the ball pretty much every time, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. They'll get used to you being in the backfield. It's just like they're coming back when at practice after they run the ball up 7 yards and they run the ball back, and they're looking for a coach to throw it to.
Okay.
So instead of you being on their side, you'll be on this side, what they're used to,
Gotcha.
and you'll probably be more visible. Hey, right here.
Okay. Thank you.
Question concerns over pass or running play. All right, let's move on to scrimmage kicks. We're going to put the referee on the kicking leg, 2 to 3 yards deeper than the kicker and outside the tight end position. Wherever you're comfortable. If you're real wide, get real wide. Wherever you were at last year, get the exact same spot. Count the players and signal the umpire. The umpire is opposite the referee, even with the kicker. A little bit closer and no wider than the tight end, but if you got so you can see the guy coming off the edge on your side. The umpire will take the edge rusher off of his side, and the referee will take the edge rusher off of his side. And the umpire also has the snapper.
We're going to still use the snap protection signal?
Yes. That way the linebacker knows and everybody knows, yeah, center has protection. And we're going to say it out loud like we always do. After the snap, the referee will make sure the ball is legally kicked. Points of emphasis on the shield and any lineman beat on your side. So the referee will have the shield in the backfield while the umpire still watches line play. Once kicked, move to the spot where the ball was kicked from and observe an action in front of the returner and responsible for Team A's goal line. So once it's kicked, you're going to roll to where it's kicked. In case it's kicked out of bounds, you're going to be there. That puts you in the center of the field in the back judge position with action coming at you. The umpire, observe action on the snapper is primary. Secondary is any lineman who's beat on your side. Once the ball is kicked away, move toward the original line of scrimmage, observing action trailing the play. So once it's kicked, we're going to jog up to where the ball was snapped from. That's going to put you about 10 yards behind where you were last year. But then we're going to have that same look as last season with the back judge, the two-wing, the umpire, and the referee. I'm sorry. I got a little short here. Does that make sense? We'll end up in the same officiating spots. Our initial spots are way different, but after it's kicked, we want to try to get in that same formation. Questions, concerns?
No further than the line of scrimmage, correct?
Yeah, you're not going to get any further than the line of scrimmage.
Okay. True.
Because there still may be some action you may have to get through or get to.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So PJ,
Go ahead.
hey, no matter on a punt, no matter which side of the field the ball's kicked, I mean punt, the referee follows it, even if it comes to your side.
One more time.
On a
You mean like a guy takes off running with the punt,
Like the rugby style.
like the rugby style?
well, what I'm saying is where when he punts the ball, sometimes they'll punt it right or left.
Yeah, I want the referee going to where it is kicked from, because if it is kicked right or left, it's possibly going out of bounds on a fly
So he'll be going
to the spot to where it's kicked from.
okay.
What about the kicking leg, BJ?
You're on the kicking leg.
Okay, so we're going to switch if left-footed. Okay.
As of now. If the rugby style kicker who runs toward the line of scrimmage, treat him just like a scrambling passer until he kicks it. Outside the tackle box, the umpire will pick him up. Inside the tackle box, and all the way to the other sideline is the referee.
Even if he rolls out, our responsibilities stay the same no matter what. Even if he kicks it out on the left side and he's outside the tackle box, then I'm still going to the line of scrimmage and the R is trailing and getting the spot where he kicked it, correct?
He's going to come behind
Vice
you.
versa.
He's not going to go all the way over there, but he's going to go to possibly to the middle of the field and stop.
Okay.
Rugby style kicks are usually line drives or things that stay up the middle of the field.
So is there a scenario where the umpire could have to rule on a roughing the kicker
When he rolls that way.
if he rolls that way and kicks that way? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's gonna be very rare though.
Those are going to be incredibly rare because you're going to roll to the leg that you kick with.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's gonna be very rare. Yep. Okay.
Good point.
And that will be so obvious. I mean, if they're doing that, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb, and you're going to be like, "Oh my goodness!"
Everybody will see it.
Umpires get in the habit, if the quarterback goes to your side or the kicker goes to your side, wherever they throw it from or wherever they kick it from, get to that spot and stop.
Okay.
You're going to have to rule whether he was over the line of scrimmage or not.
Okay.
So, wherever a guy throws the ball, if he's in front of you and he throws the ball, go to that spot, look left, look for the stick, and be able to rule him. He was beyond the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
All right, here we go on scoring kicks.
Hey, PJ, I got a question about that.
Go right ahead.
So, you're saying we should, in a 7-man game, the short wings are staying on the line of scrimmage, correct? Wouldn't they be the ones to rule on a illegal forward pass or not?
They can. Yeah. It's just treat it as if you were refereeing. When a guy throws the ball and you're refereeing, you go to the spot where he throws it from just to see.
Okay.
Yeah. Just keep that in your spot in your mind and just continue on to that spot. Because if he's rolling, he's going to throw and continue on. And you're just going to go to that spot.
Okay.
It's just another check.
I got you.
In case the linemen are like, well, he's coming at me and I had to bail out and go this way. You're a check. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, just sometimes from behind, if you're late getting up there, you don't see the whole body. Where I know we go.
And it's got to be
across the line.
Correct. He's got to be body and soul.
Right.
Completely across. So
sometimes
question, just let it go.
Difficult to. Very good. That answers.
Yep. Scoring kicks. We're in the same position as last year. We're going to face the holders, the referee. 10 to 12 yards deep, 2 to 3 yards outside the tight end position. The exact same spot you were last year. The umpire will have the back of the holder on 5-man mechanics. Here we go. On 5-man mechanics only, when spotting the ball on or inside the 15, be aware if the field goal team is coming on the field. Slow down on a 4th down, and when you're thinking they're going to kick a field goal, we all got football sense here. Slow down when you spot the ball and look and see if they're changing teams. If they're changing teams from the 15 in, go ahead and get underneath the upright on the press box side. Okay? When spotting the ball outside the 15 or during 7-man games, 7 official games. I got to refrain from 7-man with Chrissy aboard. Anywhere, be aware if the field goal team is coming out on the field or so, takes position 10 to 12 yards deep on team A side of the ball, opposite the yard, outside the tight end. So on 4th downs inside the 30, well, it might be 35, out inside the 35, be aware if slow down when spotting the ball and be aware if they're changing.
So just a question about that for so usually the U's go in with another deep wing coming in from the sideline for those positions. So is one of the wings coming in to man the middle also, or are we just not going to have anybody in the middle on 7-man?
On 7-man, that the S will the S will still roll in.
Okay, so we'll have one person in the middle with the U just staying out. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, then the S doesn't change on that.
So will the S have the snapper?
Please?
Will the S have the snapper on 7-man?
No.
Okay,
You do.
I'm making sure.
Yep, you do.
Okay. All right.
He's going to look for leapers, more than likely.
Okay.
Yep, and you take the snapper.
All right.
Hey, PJ.
Yes.
On that 5-man mechanic, if we're at the 14 and a half, I mean, worst case scenario is we may have to go up and stand right next to that snapper with our hand on his helmet going, don't snap this ball, don't snap this ball, or, stand in front or something.
In front of the holder?
Yeah, in front of the holder. Yeah, I'm sorry, I said snapper. Yeah, we're going to have to, hand on the helmet or in front of him going, do not snap this ball until I tell you to.
Correct. You might have to pump it back up. You might have to reset the 40.
Right, yeah.
If we're down to 10 seconds and they're rushing them on, we better be in position the clock not run out.
Right, yeah. If we get that umpire that starts to come over and go, oh, crap, I need to be back, then we're going to have to just make sure all the R's know.
We still have O2Os. We can remind, somebody with game awareness can remind the umpire to stay over the ball until we see. And then once he sees him, that's what I was trying to prevent is the umpire spotting the ball, running back 10 to 12 yards, and then having to run 27 yards or 37 yards to get underneath an upright. So we got to have some game awareness when we're spotting the ball on 4th down inside the 35s looking for the field goal unit.
That might be fun to watch, though, PJ.
Oh, it'll be fun to watch until the clock runs out. Until the clock runs out with, we're down to 15 seconds and we're not in position and the clock runs out because we're holding them up, waiting for somebody to get in position. You know what I'm saying?
Can we reset the 25-second clock twice for the umpires?
maybe the 40 twice.
I want to see that come in from Eastern Kentucky. I want to see that come in from Eastern Kentucky during the semifinals.
Yeah. I've shared this a few times throughout the state today, so hopefully people are going over this. Free kicks. We're going to follow the previous year's positioning keys and mechanics during both 5 and 7 official games. So that's the only thing that really stayed the same there. And go ahead.
All right. The one thing that I wanted to ask during scrimmage plays, So the mechanic on like goal line plays where the umpire stands there, grabs his shirt, basically signifying like I got a ball in the end zone. Obviously, we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, don't do that from 12 yards deep, please.
Right. We can't do that. So we're just gonna have to make sure the wings know, and I meant to bring that up to them. We're just gonna make sure the wings are doing a much better job of crashing in and getting all the way in.
Yes.
We're also going to have to make sure that those back judges are aware that they might have some goal line responsibilities that they're not. They usually move back to the end line, and that umpire's there, like from the 15 in. Is he going to stay? Where's his initial position from the 15 or in, or 20 and in? Even?
They can work in the middle.
Start 5 yards deep.
Yeah, you can start on the goal line, in the middle, or on the end line.
Because that's going to be different. Not having anybody on that goal. Usually the umpire can back up to that goal line, but now we're either going to have the B or H and L is going to have big time goal line responsibility. Inside the 15.
I do it all the time. If I'm on the end line and read run, I'm gonna come up. There's no sense of standing on the end line.
Hey,
I roll
PJ,
up as a back judge. Yes.
with the goal line being that most important line on the field, why would we not have the umpire in his normal position, say on the 3 and in?
They don't want him there.
Everybody's already crowded together anyway.
We're not going. Yeah, it's just they want him in the backfield, and that's where he's going to be for at least the first 2 weeks. Like I said, we may adopt the NFL inside the 10, under the 2. The NFL rolls them there, under 2 minutes or something. We may adopt that inside the 10. As of right now, they want them back there and going with this. When we're going to have to see the ball.
Is this probably going to be the norm, PJ? Even with the COVID thing, I know that's kind of why we're going to this, but it sounds like it's what's going to be the norm going forward. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's fair to say. They also want that umpire out of there for injury's sake.
Yeah. Okay.
It seems to work in upper levels, so they want to give us a shot down here in the high school level.
PJ, it don't have anything to do with injuries. They've been there for 170 years.
Yep, I agree. But everybody, that's the upper levels move was to get them out of the way of injury. Questions, concerns? Like I said, I hope I sent this to Daniel. Hope we can get a copy up on the website or up on Arbiter for everybody to get a chance to look at it. It's going to take some getting used to. And, and if you have anything, write it down, send it to me, call me. Because like I said, we're going to have to tweak this. More than likely, we're going to have to tweak this somehow, some way. Like Gil said, and inside 10, but that'll probably have to come from the state as far as moving the umpire back inside the 10.
PJ Jeshua asked if there were any scrimmages to test this out prior to September 11th.
Nope. None.
As of a phone call that I got yesterday, the state had no idea about where they wanted the umpire to be.
I sent an email to Julian this morning.
I know.
And he responded. He had some tweaks, but I didn't like them, so I didn't share them.
Well, the thing is, though, he's going to let you do. I think he's going to let the local associations do whatever they want to do in this situation, because, I mean, like Scotty said before, there's some associations that they can't move the umpire back there, and do some of the things that we're going to do with them.
No,
they just don't have that ability.
The Louisville Association has 2 Division I center judges in that association, so they're going to be fine in Louisville. Lexington, I shared this with Bill Ballard. Middle Kentucky was Steve Hazel, former alumni from up here. Shared it with him, and the Paducah area, I've shared it with the Paducah area. So we got pretty much the state covered as far as they're going to go off of this list, hopefully.
PJ, question Brett asked, are we the only state doing this with the umpire in the backfield?
I have no idea. I know as far as even on it, there was only one 7-man association in college who did this mechanic last year without an umpire in the middle. We got the national championship game, so they must have done it right. But I could pull up some of their film and we can watch a few plays if you want to do that. If I could figure it out how to share that screen. Anybody up for a few plays?
Be great.
Sure.
Okay, let's see here.
While you're doing that, I just texted Schaefer and Bryson, who are leading the short wing call, and made sure that they made sure that the wings are crashing on goal line plays to remind them that umpire's not going to be there to help them rule on that. So
everybody got the screen?
Yes.
With Wildcats in the back? This is out of the Big Sky. They are a lot wider than what we are going to start at. Not much wider. We may adjust. Adjust if you need to. Nobody's going to ding you on film the first couple of weeks. Get used to it because you're only looking. Let me see if I can't. Oh, look at here. Draw. So you've got here. As the umpire. Right? Notice how wide the referee is to get this tackle, and he will have.
So you're saying, PJ, we shouldn't be that wide?
Oh, you can be that wide. Yes.
They're by the wide receivers.
Yeah, for us, our hash marks are in, right? Wider.
They're wider.
Okay. Wider. I know referees like to work 3 spots, right? On the numbers, in the middle, or on the hash, right? Umpires can do the exact same.
Okay.
I didn't want to put outside the tackle. Like I said, Julian doesn't like anybody being outside the tackle, but that's the way the game goes when they're faster. You got to be wider.
Will the umpire ever go outside the hash, PJ?
Quarterback rolling, quarterback rolls.
Preset.
This way. Preset? No, I wouldn't. Well, yeah, he has to. The same as referee. If the ball snapped on this spot right here,
he's got to go out.
He's have to be out there. He's going to have to be here if the ball snapped on this hash.
So you got one of the things is with being wide or being in is you got to remember you've only got half of the field this year, maybe a little less than 2/3 because we're not going past where PJ's marker is right there.
Yeah.
Correct, PJ?
The referee's going to have this, or the umpire's going to have this amount of the field.
Right.
And the referee's going to have this amount.
So wider is actually better this year because it gives you more. You're going to be able to see more. You don't have to move as much.
Yeah. Standing still is better than moving. So if you have to get wide to be standing still, get wide. Let's run this play. I think this is a pass play. You'll see umpire / center judge be coming in the screen, right up the hash, boink. Hey, Bob's got a guess. All right, let me see if I can find that initial spot so we can get a wide view of this. Oh, sounded like he was getting ready to pull out there, didn't it? Let's go back to play 8 here. How did I get on play 12? Very nice. We'll just stay there. All right, back to play 8. See him coming up toward the numbers, watching blocking in front. Got a rag down. I'm gonna let this roll because watch where the umpire goes. From the end of the run. Perfectly acceptable. Everybody catch that? Let me see here. Let's get to play 9 now.
Hey, while you're going to play 9, I was thinking of a mechanic. So with both of us spotting the balls, the umpire normally wears that extra indicator to indicate left, right, center.
Please still do that.
They'll
Now
still
this play
do
right
that.
here.
They'll still do that, but it's going to be different for them. If they're not spotting the ball, they're going to have to remember to change it. So if I spot the ball in the right hand, Larry's going to have to remember to change his indicator if I spot it on the right side of the field.
Absolutely.
So just remember that. Remember that, umpires.
What happens at the end of this play?
It's real choppy, PJ. I can't hardly tell.
Well, nothing. Nothing happens in this play. And now look, I got one guy here and another guy here. They collapsed the circle, didn't they?
Okay.
Collapsed my box.
Yeah.
The umpire can come in, the referee can stay back. There's no need for that referee to be in there. Anybody figure out a reason for that referee to be in there?
It looked like it went right up the middle, correct?
Correct. And run inside the tackle box.
Yeah.
At the end of the play, the umpire will come up, referee stay back, get the bigger picture.
So what do you recommend on that, PJ? Who do you recommend come up in that play? So if it's just a run up the gut, you want the
umpire
to come up.
The umpire.
At what point do you want the referee to come up and the umpire to stay back? If it's a run, say to the referee side,
outside the tackle on the umpire side.
The referee
umpire
side.
The umpire will be over there, and the referee will roll up.
All right. Every other time, it's just like normal. The umpire is going to go spot the ball. Referee's going to stay where they're at.
Correct.
All right. Got it.
Yep. The umpires are going to get about 5-6 miles in on a Friday night.
Yeah. Better start running.
Get your sweat in.
You need
I sweat enough already, brother. It's going to be even worse.
Yep, that referee don't need to be there at all.
You sweat when you eat.
That's true, Sandy.
So, PJ, you mentioned that on that one play where the play ended up on the left hash, the center judge ran up and spotted the ball. Does that happen on the opposite side if a pass is thrown to the right? Does the referee run up and spot it if it's at the numbers on the right side?
He can, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the umpire is going to be back over in here somewhere, and there's no need for him to come all the way over. If the referee can get a ball and get there, yes. I mean, don't go outside the numbers. The referee's got to go outside the numbers to get a ball. Then maybe the umpire can come over. Let's make sure we get that ball spotted, because the back judge is going to be letting us know whether we need to pump it back up, right? We don't have substitution mechanics. Another reason why we got to fly a little bit. Let's see what kind of look we get here. That's just a normal running play.
On that note, PJ, for teams that are running the hurry up, like Simon, for example, whoever is setting that ball may need to move out, backpedaling to get to their spot.
Getting ready to,
something to think about.
Saw that. Look at that right there.
Craig, I was just going to say the
He's
same
not doing us
thing. We as
any good.
umpires,
When you back out after spotting in a hurry up, back out.
we need to learn to come out of there backward.
Correct.
A lot of backpedaling.
Right.
This guy right here is not doing us any good.
Yeah, you take 2 steps and then you rotate 180 degrees and you backpedal out. It's
Right.
1, 2, rotate, backpedal.
Yep.
Fall down for the umpire.
Well, somebody's going to do it. I just hope we get it on film.
Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, but don't do this unless they're in a huddle.
You never know.
If they're in a huddle, you can do this. Don't do this. He's doing us no good. Just can everybody see my cursor? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do this at all.
What he's doing, those guys are working for man right there.
So are we like in that situation? Are we verbalizing, wait? I mean, do we have to let them go? I mean, are we trying to get them to wait?
No, there's no rule support for us to have them wait.
Sorry, Larry.
I know, right?
Yeah, there was one game last year to that point where in 5-man where in a hurry up at the end of the game, team was trying, frantically to get another play off, and the ball was snapped and a play was run as I was backing out, and I was probably 7-8 yards from the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped and shotgun. So I got wide pretty fast and I kept backing up, but we got the ball spotted and they snapped it. And so at that point, you just kind of have to be athletic and just officiate the play the best you can. Having the umpire in the backfield is going to help, right? In that case this year, because last year I was all alone in that situation. So, but yeah, I think we got to put that ball down. We got to hustle and just backpedal out of there do the best we can.
Period factors. What's 4, Daniel? Ball in play. Putting the ball in play. I'm on page 47. Game officials indicate the ball remains dead by sounding his whistle immediately when the foul occurs. The ball becomes dead when down. Yeah. Hopefully they add that to the book, because there's another book that's a little thicker than this that says the ball cannot be snapped until the officials are in position.
Yeah, I even brought that up to Matt in our second meeting, and I was like, is there going to be a mechanic to where they don't snap it until like the NFL when you're behind that second, the first deepest guy, and I said, not for these kids. They're kids. They're not going to know that. They're not going to pay attention to that. So it's on us.
Yes.
It's on UNR to get the heck out of Dodge. Now I think we might kill that if they do it while he's right behind. If he's in the
If
same
he's an
position
arm.
like a quarterback, you might want to kill that just so he doesn't.
You
get
don't want the
killed.
snap hitting him.
Right. Yeah. So I think that might be our only option there. But if they're 2 or 3 yards away, those kids are
Gonna
going to
have
snap
to
the
adopt
football.
something.
Hopefully we can, but not right now when we don't have anything.
Right.
So-
As of right now, you're on your own.
So you're talking like if we got a first down, we're waiting for the chains to move. That's what you're talking about, right?
Oh, he can get the ball down and get out. We're talking late in the game, hurry up offense. They don't make a first down. And we spot the ball on a 2-yard run, and they just line right back up.
Yeah. It's like
Once the ball is down,
if it's 3rd and 2 and they do a little quick hit and get those 2 yards and we set it right back down, they're going to want to snap that ball again. We're going to have to get the heck out of there.
Yep. We're just going to have to hustle. I mean, it could happen. And, like I said, last year in that play, I got about 8 yards deep, and then I kept backing up, but that was a lot closer than I wanted it to be. If you're right there at the line of scrimmage, I mean, yeah, you get in that danger area, but I think it would be rare that would happen, because usually there's going to be typically a second or two pause from the time. Like if they were really trying to hurry, there's going to be a second or two pause between the time you put it down and start to get out of there and that ball gets snapped. And that's usually going to give you time to get, 5 to 7 yards out of there. So
on first downs under 2, we are using the whistle and the line, right?
Yep.
So if there's no whistle and the line.
If the clock's not running, it's not an issue, right?
Right.
Clock stopped. The clock
I'm talking
stopped.
about on a first down, and they're wanting to go. You can tell the quarterback, whistle the line here.
Yeah.
And then that umpire will be able to get back and out of the way. But on 2nd and 5 and they gain 3, where he gets sacked and they're running back, yeah, you're gonna have to get it down and get out.
And that's also umpires talking with Bubba, telling Bubba, hey, Bubba, let me just give me a half a second to get the heck out of here before you snap this thing, and talk to him before the game. And I mean, obviously that all changes when shit's hitting the fan, but I don't know. Maybe that's just a conversation that they have.
You take care of me, I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Hey, PJ,
Yes, sir.
you talking about having the center hold up and, on a quick snap, but that's just going to be on the quarterback when he does his cadence.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's only going to be an issue if the clock's running, team's out of timeouts, and they're feverishly trying at the end of the game, right? And that's a rare circumstance, because like many of you guys know, we just don't have that many close football games. So,
Not on your
it's
schedule.
a limited circumstance, I think. But one of us or more are going to get in that situation at some point this year. So.
Yeah,
That must be your schedule, Daniel.
Hey, you know what? Sandman, it comes and goes. Last year I looked the other day, I did have close games last year, but the year before was a snooze fest. So,
you want a friend pack one in this room.
I was just playing, bro.
I know you are. I know.
Yeah, so umpires got to spot and run.
Just a matter of talking to him too. Hey, give me a second. Just kind of, let me get out of here. Just like Vernon said, just kind of talk to him and just say, hey, give me a second. Let me get out of here. Just constant communication with him, really.
Yep.
Yeah, Larry, I think that's a good point. I hesitate on that for the what if. If a team's hurrying up in my scenario and he walks over to the sideline and says, well, he told me to stop. Or, coach says, why didn't you snap the ball? Well, he told me I had to wait. Well,
okay.
PJ, like PJ said, we don't have rule book support for that.
I got you.
Okay. So the flip side of that is you guys always do a great job of communicating with your players in there. And so maybe, when you're down at that point of the game, you're not doing that, but the rest of the game is probably fine. There's no rush in that. But I would just it just causes me a little bit of hesitation because I wouldn't want to get in a situation where that puts us in the jackpot.
I
Because
understand.
we don't have rule book coverage for it. We will in a year or two, but we don't today.
Right.
It's really no different than we had last year or the past 50 years where you set that ball down, looked at your center, and like, hey, let me get a couple steps, don't kill me. It's still the same stuff. You're just going to a different side of the ball.
Right.
It's just going to feel
We
different.
were only backing out 5 yards though to 7 yards. Now we're backing out 10. You're going to be a little closer than what you are going to want to be. Just keep backing up.
Yeah, the communication is still going to be the same that everybody used for the past 10, 50 years, whatever.
More times than often, the kids aren't going to get set in that play anyway, and you're probably going to be blowing it dead because somebody wasn't down in a stance.
Very nice. Yep.
And
Good point,
if
Sharky.
it's close, go ahead and drop one. Save your use. So.
And they do have to come set for a count. I mean, I know we know, to Brian's point, and you can, if you're hustling, you can get out. You get out of there. I mean, obviously, some of us are a little faster. Some of us are a little slower than others, but you can get out of there and give yourself enough space. It's just it's hustling. It is different. I mean, for you guys that work with me, you guys know I do that. And I probably look like a fool backpedaling as quickly as I do, but it gets you out of there and gets you in position. So I think we're going to see more people doing that this year because we have to.
Yeah, don't let them ball boys come out that far. Keep them on the sidelines. You're close enough to throw it. Where we at here? I can't tell.
Hey, PJ, go back to that question Brad just put up there about the
question that Brad put up. I'm sorry, I don't see them.
Yeah, the question, PJ, is in hurry up. The wings will have to help with snap infractions, as it will be difficult for the umpire to see them.
Correct, and they always have.
Right. I think this year it just might be a point of emphasis that, hey, you guys are primary on this now. That's a good point, Brad. I like that.
I can write that down and communicate that through. Let me find something right on.
Hey, do you think one of the nice things with the umpire being in the back this year that, the umpire would be able to look if we're in hurry up, like at the wings, to see if the ball is out of bounds, in bounds, and if we're on hot, we could kind of relay to the referee, like, hey, the ball's hot, or hey, it's out of bounds. So then that way we're just more efficient with the clock, or we all kind of know, instead of just looking straight back to try to get that call.
Absolutely. The more we can communicate with each other, the better off we are. All right, we got a punt play. Woohoo! We had a punt play. See how he's even? Damn timeout. Hey, commercial. Get out of timeout. Let's go. I don't know if we get a sideline view of this or not. There we go. He's only there because we're coming out of timeout. Referee's going to hold and release. Wait for him. Chop it in. Nice kick.
Great coverage.
All right, let's see. Oh, Larry. I think we've seen a little bit of everything. A couple pass plays, couple run plays. Good kick right there. Any questions, concerns? Like I said, hopefully we'll get this up somewhere and send out an email letting you know where it's at.
Yeah, PJ, I just converted it to a PDF document and sent it to Jordan to send out to everybody.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. I said, y'all got my number. You can find it on over there. If you guys questions, think anything, once you read through this, don't mind the one typo. Hopefully there's just the one typo in there. But let me know. Hour and 10 minutes good with you guys?
Hey, one thing before we jet out. Tomorrow night, don't forget referees. We'll be at Boone County Pee Wee with the new guys doing some training. If you're available, stop by and pick up your masks for your crew for next week. If it's raining, we will not be there. So
it's golf night.
Text Gil before you come to make sure we're going to be there or not.
Just threw that right at Gil, didn't you?
Yeah.
Scotty, I'm working with you the first week. Are you just take care of?
Yes.